It's time for a death battle!
Rewritten.
Bakugo, Genos, the cyborg sidekick of One Punch Man. It's no wonder he was born with the quirk, Explosion. It lets Bakugo create humongous kabooms from his palm.
Inherited his quirk from his parents. Specifically, it was a combination of his father's combustible acid sweat and his mother's glycerin skin secretions.
Making Bakugo's sweat basically like nitroglycerin. And the more he sweats, the bigger the booms. Bakugo quickly picked up on how to use his explosions to obliterate anything in sight, block attacks, launch himself around, and quickly maneuver in midair at hypersonic speeds, which requires a ton of focus and on-the-fly calculation.
Develop his ultimate moves.
Like flying through the sky faster than sound with turbo speed, blinding people with stun grenade, focusing his blasts into armor-piercing shots, or making a big-ass tornado of death.
The howitzer impact involves Bakugo spinning himself in midair with his explosions, building up a tremendous amount of swirling oxygen, and then igniting it all for one hell of a boom.
He's pretty smart when it comes to strategizing mid-fight. He even developed new techniques for his quirk faster than Deku did.
UA High also aided Bakugo's development by preparing him with his iconic Grenadier Bracers, gauntlets that allow him to store up his sweat, gross, for prolonged bouts, or to release all of it at once in a single massive blast.
He's also got his hero suit, which helps him sweat faster in order to build up stronger attacks. Or the Strafe Panzer, these badass turrets mounted to his back that store his sweat as ammo. I mean, hell, even while he was unconscious, he kept analyzing the fight he was in and coming up with counters. Somehow,
Bakugo's powerful enough to shatter Todoroki's heaven-piercing ice wall, fast enough to keep up with villains like Shigaraki, who can catch light beams, and tough enough to survive, well,
being dead? Yep, you heard us. Bakugo was killed, dead as a doornail. And then a single bead of sweat floating through his bloodstream detonated and restarted his heart. If that isn't main character plot armor, I don't know what is.
His stamina is perhaps the craziest thing about him. After all, he is tanking the recoil of all of his explosions.
Even with the overuse of his blasts literally tearing his body apart, he kept trying to make him stronger, and eventually his quirk awakened.
Essentially, when a quirk evolves to become stronger. Now, by condensing his explosions into smaller and more powerful clusters, Bakugo could enhance all of his techniques.
Like the Howitzer Impact Cluster, a stunning achievement in the field of explosionology.
Powerful enough to shatter the side of a mountain, or blow apart UA High itself. Judging by the school's size, we can estimate Bakugo's Howitzer Impact Cluster yielded over 300 kilotons of TNT. And these explosions can launch him so fast, it's like time stands still around him.
Like when he covered a huge part of this city in a fraction of a second, almost 400 times the speed of sound.
And that's not all. Now he can detonate his sweat remotely, and from all over his body, not just his palms.
He's got super durable armor over his entire body, and he can pop his limbs on and off like a friggin' lizard tail.
Genos' limbs and body are incredibly strong, able to easily defend against powerful attacks.
And the metal that makes up his body has been upgraded to protect against stuff like acid or heat, on top of them boosting his speed and overall power.
He has multiple niche upgrades as well, such as an adhesive he can spray from his heels to immobilize foes.
Use the goop if he hasn't already noticed his opponents with his hyper sensors or weird cyborg eyes, which can zoom and enhance the most distant of evildoers.
His eye can see in infrared or track image signatures.
And it can shoot a blast of blinding light.
But there's far more weaponry across his body. Hidden blades, arm missiles, and electric shocks, just to name a few. With his rocket boosters, he moves faster than almost anyone. And he can even fly. Well, sort of.
You didn't even mention that his arms have freaking cannons in them.
These are his incinerators, powerful blasters of fire of which he can control the size of the resulting explosions.
And slapping both arms together makes the more powerful spiral incinerator blast. Then there's his Ultra Helix Incinerator.
The incredible energy of his Ultra Helix Incinerator comes directly from a power core housed in his chest, which powers most of his tech.
But even with so much firepower, his physical attacks are awesome too. Like the time he jet drive arrow kicked this Elder Centipede asshole so hard in the teeth.
His incinerators are powerful enough to eradicate monsters, buildings, and even mountains.
By using the smallest mountain in the world as a reference, the size of the damage and the fact that he vaporized that thing makes it a feat worth 66 kilotons of TNT.
Not only is Genos strong, He's incredibly fast, moving faster than the human eye can see. He targeted and struck this city-destroying meteor rocketing through the sky. Well, the fact that he was able to actually hit the big boy, not just target it, means he must have been moving 200 times faster than sound.
Genos is badass enough that he can survive getting hit with his own incinerator cannons, on top of managing to withstand getting crushed by mosquitoes. Like, a shit ton of them.
By measuring the size of that swarm, we deduced he's being crushed by 65 trillion mosquitoes, a combined weight of 358,000 tons. While a skyscraper-sized bundle of bugs is impressive, Genos has also withstood a runaway train slamming into him.
Luckily, it didn't make a dent on his power core. Without that, he wouldn't be able to do pretty much anything.
Right, the power core is unfortunately the core of his weakness as well.
Anyway, one time, Genos tried to use that core to self-destruct just to kill that annoying mosquito chick.
And struck this city-destroying meteor rocketing through the sky. Well, the fact that he was able to actually hit the big boy, not just target it, means he must have been moving 200 times faster than sound.
Bakugo fighting Shigaraki, who could react fast enough to catch light beams with his bare hands.
That's over 1,000 times faster. And that was before Bakugo's quirk awakening that made him even faster than that. Bakugo's howitzer impact once shattered the size of this big-ass mountain, and despite being earlier on in the series, it was ginormous, almost 3 kilometers in radius.
Or just over 2 megatons of TNT.
This was Bakugo before reaching his full power in his fight against All for One,
At his best, Genos had kicked the Elder Centipede backward.
which was freaking huge.
According to an interview with a One Punch Man manga illustrator, Elder Centipede's body measures 15 meters wide. With that and scaling to its surroundings, we determined its full size to be over 700 meters long. The force to knock aside something this large would have to be over 15 megatons of TNT.